You gotta fake it before you make it. My BMW got repossessed while I was homeless. That's why I had to figure out where in the world I'm gonna stay. Ended up sleeping on the side of Interstate 95. I want you to understand that you never wanna appear as a charity case. You never wanna appear as somebody that is not bringing a valid opportunity. But if your goal is to make money and you're bringing a financial opportunity to that person, it would help if you knew what their goals were. A lot of us that come from low-income environments, we always make decisions based off of the price, not the value. Is fake it till you make it real financial literacy? You know it's your favorite country cousin, JT Automation's back in with another video. And the reason why I want to have this conversation is because there's always a debate on, man, you're perpetrating, you're being fake. And then there's another school of thought that says you got to fake it till you make it. So I'm going to chime in on this discussion. This is only talking to those of you all that are interested in building a business or a personal brand and then making a business around your personal brand as well, right? If that's not you, nothing that I'm saying applies. You shouldn't take it any kind of way. But let's get into it. Yes, 100%. You have to fake it before you make it, right? Here's why. Let me tell you why. I don't just want to throw my opinion out there. I've been an entrepreneur since 2014. I've been teaching entrepreneurship since 2017. And what I've experienced from firsthand experience and seen other people that were around me face as well is that if you come into any environment like you need help and not that you bring in value in any way to the situation, you appear to be a charity case. Now, here's the problem with being a charity case. People that really got it, all the ones I know at least, they've been through something. So your sad story is really just the foundation of your wealth story is how they gonna perceive it. What I mean by that, when you tell them, I'm about to be homeless, I'm a single parent, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, I'm having all of these troubles in my life, right? They're not taking that in as if, oh, this is something bad that I gotta save you from, right? I know when you say that, you probably intended it to be, okay, once I tell them my situation, if they got a heart, they gonna, empathize with me. So just for clarity, all the highly successful people I know, they've been through something. Now, they might have been through something worse, just as bad, not as bad as your situation. Just depends on who you're talking to. But the consensus is, okay, being somebody that went through that, I understand that going through that helped me get to where I'm at. So why would I rob you of an experience that could change your life for the better? Why am I going to rob you of an experience? Why am I going to prevent you from going broke and homeless when JT, talking about me personally, went broke and homeless before becoming a millionaire? So if somebody came to me with a situation like I lost my job or I ain't got no income right now, I don't got a job, I might lose my car, right? My BMW got repossessed while I was homeless. That's why I had to figure out where in the world I'm gonna stay. Ended up sleeping on the side of Interstate 95. For anybody that's not familiar with the East Coast, that runs pretty much the entire East Coast. I digress. I want you to understand that you never want to appear as a charity case. You never want to appear as somebody that is not bringing a valid opportunity. What do I mean by a valid opportunity? You might come to a situation saying, hey, this is a good opportunity for anybody. Case in point, somebody recently reached out to me. They said, hey, look, bruh, if you invest $8,000, I know I can make $20,000. And then I could flip 20 into 100,000. So what I'm asking you for is basically 8,000 and I'll kick you back 50,000 at the end of the year, right? It's January when I'm having this conversation, just to put it in perspective, because I know not everybody will listen to it in January. So they basically saying, hey, top of the year, give me 8, end of the year, Merry Christmas, I'll give you 50. One, I understand money don't work like that. Every now and then we'll hear about somebody that caught lightning in a bottle with like a crypto play or hit the lotto or some once in a lifetime opportunity. That's not a real business model that you can repeat over and over again. Because if it was, those that can would abuse it to the point where average people wouldn't be able to do it anyway after a while, right? So first off, before we even get down that rabbit hole, my goal is to build $100 million media company. I'm transparent about that. I'm vocal about that. I believe the media controls how people think. And my whole objective in life is to help as many people as possible understand if they keep God first, they can reach all of their financial goals. Now, because I want to help millions of people in a real way achieve their financial goals after they keep God first, it's not cheap. It's going to take infrastructure like employees, software, expertise, just overall, like a lot of different things going to go into it, I'm sure. So I'm not saying that I personally need to have $100 million, in my bank account at all times. I saw Tyler Perry. Matter of fact, this is where I got inspired by it from. And you can hate him or love him as a person, but as far as African-American men that have done really big things in media, I think of Tyler Perry and I think of Byron Allen. So, I look up to those guys professionally speaking. I don't know nothing about their personal life, nothing about if any scandal or anything ever was to come out. I don't know nothing about that. I'm just talking strictly about what they did in business and business alone, because I don't know nothing else about nothing. So when I study these guys, I saw Tyler Perry post, he spent $100 million a year in just payroll. $100 million a year is, and it might be more than that depending on when you're listening to this. That's what it costs just to run Tyler Perry Studios for 1 year. So with that being said, my whole thing is like, listen, I'm not saying that I'm going to build the next Tyler Perry Studios, but I do want to build something big, something that's impactful. So we're going to start off with social media, but then I'm flipping my social media money in the comedy shows and the short films and the, other media assets that we can expand out into as well. And those of you all that stay locked in with me long enough, you're going to see the journey. But that being said, if you come to me with a $100,000 play, right now we at 3 million. We got a plan that we working that I believe could get us from 3 million to 7 million. You come along, whoever listening to this, saying, I got an opportunity where you could spend a little money. We gonna make 100,000, right? And we could split it 50-50. And you gonna make way more than whatever you invested. You know what I mean? What you're not understanding, we talking about what's a valid opportunity. I'm gonna just do the math. Right now we're at 3 million. I told you guys that. We're working a plan to get to 7 million. So that's reinvesting in the other media, other outlets, right? Scaling up that way. We still are going to be, and I digress, 93 million, right? If we get to 7 million, then we'll still be 93 million short of the business I'm trying to build. If me and you spend a year together and I invest 8,000, you flip 8 to 20, then we invest the whole 20 back into the business, right? You live off of what you do, I live off of what I do, but this new venture together, we agree to reinvest 100% of everything till it's at least 100,000. And let's say we're successful, right? Congratulations. We went from 8,000 to 100,000, right? 96, no, not 96, $92,000 in the green in our first 12 months, right? But now we got to bust it down the middle and understand this. We're not busting down 100,000 50-50. First, I'm going to recoup what I invested. So I'm going to take 8,000 out of the $100,000. That is my initial investment. Because why should you get $50,000 and you didn't invest anything but sweat equity? I could have gotten a VA from the Philippines and paid them less money and kept 100% of the money, depending on the nature of the venture. If I couldn't do that in that exact venture that you did, I could have done a different venture and made the same money. So there's still no strategic advantage of doing it with you and me putting in 8,000, you putting in sweat equity, and then we both walk away with 50. You made more money than me at the end of the day. I'm 42 grand in profit. You 50 grand up. We're not doing it, right? So out of that, I'm going to use my calculator, subtract my initial investment. Let's say it was the 8,000, like my friend said. So now we're splitting 92,000 down the middle. You couldn't do the deal without me, and you put in the sweat equity. That's still good. You made $46,000 from zero. So did I. We both made the same thing. I made my money back plus $46,000. You went from 0 to 46,000. Right now, of course, depending on the nuances of what goes into the business, these are just real simple numbers just for the sake of this illustration. All right. So let's say now I got $46,000 I didn't have prior to doing business with you. That's great. I'm going to take that $93 million that I am away from reaching my $100 million goal once we hit our $7 million mark. And let me just divide that up. Let me see what my calculator says. I would have to make $46,000 profit, because that's all the profit really was after I made my money back and then did the 50-50 split with you. I would have to live 2,021.74 years, basically 2,022 years. I could be born today and still not live long enough to make that much. You know what I mean? Like, really let that set in. Listeners, viewers, really feel me now. If somebody's goal is $100 million and you come to them with a $100,000 opportunity. Now, if I don't got to invest any money at all, right, I'm still not going to live long enough to, you know what I mean, do it. Let's say just you want to leverage my name, my brand, my net worth, like something like that. Okay, cool. Let's say I don't put no money in. I'm still 93 million away. Let's say that I work my plan from 3 to 7 that we're working. You're going to help me. You know what I mean? So 93 million. Now let's say I divided by the whole 50 bands. Now I only have to live 1,860 years. If I was born today, still not going to live long enough to reach my goals. Right? Now, here's what you have to understand. My goals don't have to be your goals. I also shouldn't have to compromise my goals to accommodate yours, and vice versa. So just like it wouldn't be fair to you for me to say, hey, listen, bro, unless we doing a $5 to $10 million deal, it doesn't make sense for me to do this, because even if I could make $5 million a year with you, in 20 years, that's $100 million. I'm comfortable with that. 10 million, you know what I mean? 10 years, right? I'm comfortable with that, right? I'm 34, almost to be 35 this summer as of this recording. I can sign up for that. I'm willing to lock in long term with that. But 46,000, I could do business without you and make 46,000. So doing business with you for an extra 46,000, that is unnecessary stress, unnecessary, like, just waste of resources. And the reason why we're having this conversation this long is because a lot of people, they'll come with what they feel to be a good opportunity. Hey, bro, help me for free and then split the profits on the back end. Well, why don't I just do it without you? That's not me being mean. That's just understanding this. Like, you're not helping me at all by me helping you and then getting paid on the back end. I could just hire an employee, and whatever I pay them is going to be less than half. What you going to want? Half? What do you want? 40%? No, still no. Virtual assistant, and I'm even restructuring my virtual assistants. I have a virtual assistant that can do $13,000 in a month, costs $500 a month. Come on. Whatever arbitrage that is, right? Think about that multiple. What is that? Like a 26x, I would say, right? So making 26 times what they cost me, right? So are you okay with, if you do make 100,000, it's because 2.6 million was in profit and you was able to take, you know what I mean, 100,000 and I got the rest? Most people wouldn't. Now, so when we come up with a valid opportunity, it doesn't always have to be financially speaking. But if your goal is to make money and you're bringing a financial opportunity to that person, it would help if you knew what their goals were, financially speaking. Now, you can come at them at another angle, right? There's certain people that it's not about the money, it's about family time. So maybe you can not necessarily make them drastically more money, but what if they can make the same money in profit in less time? It all depends on if they're in the growth stage or if they're in the maintain stage, right? So somebody that's in the growth stage, like I am, may or may not, just depends on what the opportunity is, care about that. That's what's important to know. So valid opportunities. All right, a valid opportunity. Now, when you come with a valid opportunity, now you're an asset. So let me give you guys a couple visual, because I'm just like more of a visual person as well. So I want to give you guys some examples. I also want to take this opportunity to let you know that if you ever want to sponsor an episode, you could text 1-833-221-9994. Again, that number is 1-833-221-9994 to sponsor any episode of the Income Autopilot podcast, right? So let's say that there were two people that were down on their luck, financially speaking. One of these people were somebody that believed, a perception is everything. All right, maybe these both were people that once upon a time, they were at a little bit higher status than they are now. If one person comes to you, they have 6,500 followers and they sell plates on Facebook, right? They sell plates on Facebook. So every day they get up, they cook, they do a broadcast on Facebook and they show people what they made and they let them know, hey, listen, you place your order, I'll put it in a paper plate, aluminum foil on it, drop it off straight to your door. Great. Secondly, though, the other person is Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay has over 18 million followers as of this recording. Now, let's say both of them again, let us know they were down on their luck and you want to do an event. And Gordon Ramsay says, you know what? This is way less than what I normally charge, but I'll give you the works. All of my social media leverage, all of my relationships, the best dishes I know how to cook. I'll give you everything I got for $5,000. Right? That's just where I'm at. But then let's say your budget for the entire event was only $5,000. And then my classmate from grade school, who now is trying to get enough money to get her first food trailer, food truck, and then later restaurant, she says, man, listen, you ain't got to pay that much money. I could do your event for $275. Same exact whatever, right? If he cooking lamb, shoot, we'll get you some lamb. If he doing this, we're doing that, right? And of course, let's assume just for easy math, this is the profit on top of the cost. I'm not going to do all of that math. Y'all know I got a South Carolina education. I'm a country boy. So let's say they add up whatever the cost of materials are, the cost of food, and whatever other expenses they'll have. And then on top of that, Gordon Ramsay puts $5,000 profit, and my friend puts $275 profit on top, right? You're going to do a 4-hour event. What's the right answer? Again, let's assume both of them, we know for a fact, are hard on their luck. Financially speaking, they're not where they want to be. The right answer is Gordon Ramsay. Even if Gordon Ramsay's price is more than what you initially budgeted for the entire event, right? Why? Because Gordon Ramsay gives you an opportunity. If you plan on doing a small event, 40 or less people, you know what I mean? I don't know if it was a retirement, a birthday party, maybe a business talk or meetup or whatever it was, right? Doesn't matter. Yes, you can have it done cheaper, but what will take you over the top? What will give you the most future leverage that you can use to bank on down the line, maybe even in perpetuity? Is the Gordon Ramsay came and catered your event, right? Why? Because it's an opportunity, because of the brand. When we think of Gordon Ramsay and Hell's Kitchen and all these other shows and everything else he's associated with, right? To have Gordon Ramsay come to your event, and even if the food, right? She gonna go get lamb from Sam's Club. He gonna go get lamb imported from the land of the lamb, wherever that is, right? So even if the food cost is more, and on top of that, he puts, a $5,000 price tag, it's an opportunity. So what I want you all to stay with me here on is you need to be the opportunity, not the charity case. You need to be the opportunity, not the charity case. That's what I mean when I say you got to fake it before you make it. Again, I'm talking to you if you're a business owner. I'm talking to you if you're a personal brand and you're scaling up, right? I shouldn't be able to know. Like, I'm going to share something with you guys right now, right? I got some Orajel with me, and it's Saturday when I'm recording this. The side of my mouth is killing me. right? I think it's time for a fill-in. Got real sensitive teeth, right? So, and I'm also gonna get fitted for my veneers or start the process to get my veneers, right? So, but I'm not on here crying about it. If I didn't mention that, nobody would ever be able to know what I'm going through. And that's how it should be. People shouldn't be able to know if you got $10 million or $10 because you should always present yourself as, hey, I'm an opportunity. When you spend money with me, it benefits you more than it benefits me. Ask yourself now, how is that possible in any business you're in? If somebody gives you money, how does it benefit them more than it benefits you? A lot of people that struggle in business, they never had that conversation. They never had that ideology. One more example. All right, and let me pick on myself since I picked on my classmate with Gordon Ramsay. Right now, and the price will increase, I guarantee it. But right now, you can get mentorship for me for as low as $650 a year. We're experimenting with it. I know a lot of coaches, mentors, teachers out there will say, JT, that's ridiculous. Why are you a millionaire and you're doing 1-year mentorship programs for $650 a year? Right? Well, we're just trying to give people that need the opportunity the opportunity. But I digress. Let's say Elon Musk came out today, and for his 1-year mentorship program, it is $1 million. If I'm not mistaken, he's the richest person in the United States as of right now, right? Depending on when you're listening to it, you know, it always goes back and forth between a few high ranking people. But as of right now, I think he's the richest person, or whoever's the richest person in the United States or in your country if you're not in the United States when you're listening to this. All right. If they came out with a mentorship program and it's $1 million to be mentored by a billionaire, or you can pay $650 to get mentored by a millionaire, right? What's the right answer? You should do everything in your power to figure out how to give Elon Musk $1 million. And I'm comparing that to me. Like, so it ain't even it's not a knock, it ain't nothing like that. Like, straight up, it's a better opportunity. And a lot of us that come from low income environments, we always make decisions based off of the price, not the value. So you should always dress the same. I'm working on my health now. So I'm wearing a lot of hoodies, sweatpants, whatever. But when I'm going to events, Rolex on, Panerai on, $1,000 sneakers minimum, Versace glasses, got them on even now, right? Hair gotta be right? Bust the grays away, right? Shout out to South Sheen, Carson, and Beijing. I might even come out with my own line in the future. The reason why I do that is because I may not have an opportunity to speak to everybody in the room and explain to them who I am and what value I bring to the environment. Because you should naturally bring value to every environment that you're in. But understand this, you may not be able to physically speak to everybody in every environment. So I got to look the part. You got to do the same as well on your level. You should always dress the same, whether you got it or not. Always act, talk the same. You should always be an opportunity. Always be an opportunity. I don't care if if your tooth hurt, get some oral gel, put it in your pocket. Go see the dentist next week, like me. All right. If your head hurt, listen, minimize the time that you're going to interact with people. But while you are interacting with them, they shouldn't know you got a migraine. They shouldn't know that the bills is piling up, because nobody wants to help you when you appear like a charity case. Let me give you a book that you could reference from people that are way richer, way smarter than me. Whether you love them or hate them, it's undeniable what this person has done financially speaking. So there's a book out called Midas Touch. It's written by Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki. Now, again, you don't got to love them. You don't got to hate them. But what they've been able to do financially speaking is undeniable. So one principle that they'll teach you in the book Midas Touch is the best time to ask for money is when you don't need it. Now, let's say that you're already listening to this podcast episode and you like, oh, too late for that. I really need it. Guess what? They shouldn't know you need it. And they break down in a way more articulate way than a country boy from the Carolinas breaks it down why it's so important for you to always position yourself as an asset. This doesn't mean you got to show up in a room and be arrogant and be a jerk and slap the table and you know what I mean? You don't got to be that at all, right? You don't have to be that at all. but come to those situations and say non-verbally, I'm an asset to this room. One of the things that we're looking at acquiring in the near future, and I'm putting it on wax so you guys can hold me accountable, is a Lamborghini. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. I do a lot of driving, right? My first ever legit six-figure business was an independent courier service. And then we transitioned, fast forward to today. Now we're doing seven-figure businesses, and I don't have any box truck, cargo van, or anything like that. But the point is this: I like to drive. So I get cars that are built to last. These are the Hondas, these are Toyotas, right? These aren't anything special that'll make you break your neck or turn your head when they fly by. I am not getting a Lamborghini because I need to get from point A to point B. I have witnessed firsthand how people have purchased a Lamborghini. It has paid for itself in the first year. And then after that, they have made millions of dollars just by owning a Lamborghini. Right now, yes, the obvious way that some of you all may see is through marketing. So the person that has a Lamborghini, to many people, maybe not you, but to many people, it seemed to be more, successful than the person that's in the Honda or the Toyota. Second to that as well, there are certain organizations that you get access to based off of the vehicle that you drive. Some of you all may know that. Some of you all may be in a car club or some similar fraternal or sorority organization where there are certain prerequisites you have to meet in order to be a part of that illustrious organization. So respect to you in whatever private organization you're in. But in my area, there are certain organizations where the movers and shakers are in it. They all have Lamborghinis. There's a Lamborghini community, there's a Porsche community, and I think Ferrari and Rolls Royce kind of merged together in my local area just because it's not a lot of them. Or maybe it's a lot of people that have them, but they just don't want to, be a part of those organizations. So they merge them together, at least for now. What's my point? Is that I know that there are very high net worth individuals that I'll just get in the room by having this car. So this car is my ticket in the room. Well, once I get in the room, I already know I have two clients, at least two that I'm going to use in this example. They understand the power of social media. They have no desire to do social media, to get good at it, to learn it. None of this hoopla that goes into social media, right? And I respect it. Each their own. They're willing to spend $100,000 a year to, in their words, do social media without having to do social media. So guess what we are doing? We have the wherewithal to do that. We can take a scan of you. Yes, you listening and watching to this. We can scan you as you talk normally. And I can take your visuals and your voice and I can make a video that appears and sounds exactly like you. And I could put you anywhere I want you to be, setting wise. And I can make you say anything I want you to say. Now, of course, we do disclaimers and all of this other stuff. You're not going to be butt naked on top of the Caucasus Mountains, saying subscribe to your OnlyFans, anything dumb like that. That's not what we're saying. But what I am saying is that there are professionals that say, hey, listen, I don't want to invest in crazy amounts of equipment, right? So I'll be honest with you. Looking around my setup right now that is mostly out of shot with the exception of my microphone, I'm counting 2,500, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 7,500, 8, right? With this simple setup that is allowing me to produce what you guys are seeing here, I would say that new, right? Of course, you can get refurbished or used equipment for whatever the refurbished or used price is. But to get the exact setup that delivers the quality in visuals and audio that I'm producing now is $8,000, right? Now, to high net worth individuals, $8,000 is not any money at all. That's like you spending 80 cents. However, they don't want to spend $8,000 and then learn how do you put all of this stuff together. Because, and I'm going to do this, if you got headphones, I'm just giving you a heads up, right? They don't want to have to put all this stuff together and then figure out, well, if I don't set this right, then I'm way too loud in the headphones, right? But in the opposite extreme, if I put it too low, you won't be able to hear anything I'm saying, similar to. So what I want you guys to understand is that not only do you got to invest the money into figuring out how in the world can you buy the right equipment, but then how do you set it up the right way, right? And of course, we can do all kind of edits and graphics and other transposes and all of this other stuff that they talk about that we can do in edits. So I'm gonna even have my editor, hey, put some graphics behind me, behind my head, and other, just mixing it up, showing you guys that are watching this visually that it can get as advanced as you want it to get. That being said, they don't want to spend 8,000 and then go through the learning curve, because the people I'm talking about are older, to set everything up so that way it looks and sounds okay. And then they got to spend X amount of mental bandwidth and time figuring out what to say, how to say it, get it edited, how to roll it out, what's the thumbnail, what's the title, what should be in the description. All of that is a lot, and they value their time. What is the point here? If I got 2 clients in a Honda slash or my Toyota, what if I went and intentionally started wearing more high-end fashion? Right now I'm rocking a brand from my brother. It's NAL, stands for never accept less. So I got on an original hoodie, but the NAL, for those of you all that are not on visual platforms, is in parentheses. So it's just NAL separated, and it stands for never accept less, right? So I rock my brand, people around me's brand a lot. But what if I strategically said, I'm going to start rocking Hermes, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Burberry, Christian Dior? Now, some people are adamantly against those brands, and I'm not here to justify, are you right, are you wrong? To each their own. Your money, you work hard for it, you do what you want with it. All right. However, if I'm trying to appeal to a certain demographic of people, and they wear those clothes and shoes and belts and drive these cars and eat at these restaurants, and as a business owner, I am wanting to appear as an opportunity in front of them, both non-verbally and verbally, because more people will see what you say non-verbally than what you say verbally. It now makes me millions of dollars, which is why I have $500 Burberry shirts over, multiple pairs of shoes over $1,000, right? While we are looking at what Lamborghini do we want to invest in. Now, we're going back to fake it till you make it, right? How does this all tie in? Not a proponent of you getting fake stuff and renting stuff, but if that is what it takes to reach your ideal customer, there's nothing wrong with that. Strictly from a marketing perspective, one of the biggest heartbreaks of my childhood was once I realized wrestling was fake. Now, of course, you probably like, duh, JT, but I really thought The Rock could get hit with a sledgehammer on Monday Night Raw, and then by Thursday Night SmackDown, he got a Band-Aid on his forehead, and he come back out and he beat up Stone Cold for hitting him in the head with a sledgehammer on Monday, right? So I figured all it took was, wipe off the blood, maybe put a little alcohol on it, put a Band-Aid over it, and Monday Night Raw, sledgehammer to the head. Boom. By Thursday Night SmackDown, good as new, just a Band-Aid on your forehead. And then by the time next week come, the Band-Aid will be gone. It'll be no scar, no scratch, no nothing. And he back out there. If you smile, right? He back out there hollering, screaming. I'm losing my mind as a kid. That was a super heartbreak to me when I realized one day, this ain't real. And once I figured out it wasn't real, I had to stop watching it. I just couldn't get into it no more. Now, were they wrong for faking it? I'm going to be honest with you. I like back in the day wrestling, because I don't even watch it anymore, so I don't know about present day wrestling. I like back in the day wrestling better than I like UFC and boxing. It was a story. It was funny. It was, you know what I mean? It was like a TV series more than actual fights in wrestling, right? But I enjoyed that. And that was the whole objective. The objective of Monday Night Raw, Hell in the Cell, all of these pay-per-view events and Monday, Thursday, whatever, right? The objective of these events were to entertain, were to garner an audience. The purpose of these events wasn't to hit people in the head with sledgehammers and chairs and throw them off of a steel cage and all of this, right? It's just entertaining. Make you enjoy yourself. That's what it was. And from a marketing perspective, from an advertising perspective, Vince McMahon a billionaire. Shane McMahon, his wife, right? I think everybody around him doing good. So understand that your goal is to garner an audience of buyers, whether you have a professional brand or a personal brand where you show your face, is to entertain and garner an audience. We all in the entertainment business. I don't care if you cook food, make clothes, talk business, talk politics, talk relationships and drama, a rap, sing, dance. We all in the entertainment business. Because if it's boring, nobody gonna watch. Nobody gonna listen. Understand this. Fake it till you make it is legit financial literacy. Because all that people have to go off of in the beginning is their perception of you. And if you fake it enough, eventually you'll reach that goal. I'm your favorite country cousin, JT. I hope this made sense to you. I don't care if you're in trucking, in real estate, in finance, in food, in social media. I want you to start showing people in a nonverbal way you are an opportunity. I want people that maybe not even talk to you today. They might tell you months from now, hey, I know when I first saw you, you was this. I knew you was a business owner. I knew you was a professional. I knew you took care of yourself. I knew you did this and did that, right? But you ain't even said nothing to me about it. I could just tell, right? I could just tell. When I seen the Versace glasses, I already knew. You could have got the Walmart frames and still been able to see. It's a reason why you got them. It's a reason why you ordered the Lamborghini. It's a reason why you dress like how you dress, you talk like how you talk. It's a reason why you have the audacity to be an author and write a book and staple yourself as an authority in all of these industries, right? Because you're an opportunity. And people always love opportunities. Poor people like opportunities. Rich people like opportunities. If you're a small business owner, it makes more sense for you to give your opportunities for sale to the rich people. And if you just want to help people that are on the opposite side, you can help them for free. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. See you guys in the next episode. Much love. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, in every episode, we going to get better. I got to start emphasizing that because I'm really confident that this podcast is going to go crazy one day, right? I'm going to just go ahead and put it out there now. I ain't going to stop till it go crazy. So I'm just going to put it out there. What I want you to understand is every episode, I'm working behind the scenes on things. Don't think that this the end all be all. I'm going to give you quality game in every episode, but the visuals going to get crazier. Special guests, we going to get more entertaining because we're in the entertainment industry, as are you if you're in business. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. See you in the next episode.